Hello and welcome to Point Counterpoint. Alongside Addy Martucci, I'm John Orsenega. Tonight we're going to be talking the Ball family and the Final Four, but we start with the NBA. A growing issue over the last few seasons has been star players taking games off, and that reached a tipping point in recent weeks. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver sent a memo to league owners saying that significant penalties will be coming if teams don't follow future rest rules. Addy, this has become a hot-button issue in the NBA in recent seasons. Do you think that teams should be allowed to rest their star players?
Absolutely. I think it needs to be done. I understand that the fans don't really like it during the regular season, but fans want to see their team succeed in the end, in the playoffs, and you need those players to rest in order to be able to be at the top of their level come playoff time.
Just from you bring up the fans, though, just from that fan's perspective, I mean, they only get so many chances to watch some of these star players, their favorite players. LeBron takes only a few trips out to the West Coast a year. They might only get that one shot to see him, and if that's the game he's sitting on the bench, that can be devastating from that fan perspective. So, the players want one thing, the fans want the other. It's a tough situation.
I completely understand with the fan, side, but I really think that the fans rather see their team succeed during the playoffs and sacrifice regular season with their star players.
It's a tough issue. Adam Silver's definitely got a tricky one on his hands for sure.
We'll stay with the NBA, but switch focus to the MVP discussion. On Tuesday, James Harden weighed in when he was asked if he thinks playing every game should matter in the MVP voting. Harden had this to say, quote, "Yeah, because you're not leaving your teammates out there to dry. For me, I worry about always having my teammates back and always being out there. For the coaching staff and the fans, especially here in Houston, the front office, I'm here to play," end quote. John, do you agree with Harden's opinion?
I do. He's putting himself out there every single night. We're just talking about LeBron and Steph Curry, some of the Warriors, Kawhi Leonard taking these nights off, but Harden goes out there every single night and puts on a show for the fans and is doing it in pretty spectacular fashion, averaging almost a triple-double on the season. So it shouldn't necessarily be the most important factor. You're looking at stats and the impact that a player has, but I think that going out there every single day should be considered, at least.
Yeah. I admire Harden's view on this and the fact that he doesn't want to leave his teammates out to dry.
Yep.
But let's go with what the definition of an MVP is. It's not most minutes played, it's most valuable player. And so you can really ask that question, what does MVP really mean?
True. It's most valuable to your team based on on the MVP lettering. Switching over now to the college game. The Ball family has been in the news a ton in recent weeks, largely due to LeVar Ball, the father of UCLA star Lonzo Ball. Addy, do you think LeVar Ball has gone too far in hyping up his sons? Is he putting too much pressure on Lonzo and his other sons?
Yeah, I get where he's coming from. A father looking out for his sons, give him support, being a proud father. However, I think this is too much. I think the pressure really might affect Lonzo's play. And, being a student athlete myself, having my father, expect certain things from me, it was a lot of pressure. And, finally he came to the conclusion that, let me just let my daughter play to have fun, not to make this amount of points or anything like that. And you know what? I played my best when my dad just wanted me to play for fun.
Interesting. I mean, he's definitely putting a ton of pressure on his sons, comparing Lonzo to Magic Johnson. But I think there's a method to his madness. I mean, he's looking out. He's ultimately looking out for his family. He wants those shoe deals for his sons, and he's putting them way up on that pedestal. And yeah, there's the possibility, there's the risk that they're going to fall off. But you know what? If he's given them an even better chance to, if they succeed, benefit off that even more. So. He's been a bit of a madman, but maybe there's a method to his madness.
Yeah, well, let's see how tough the Ball family is.
We'll see. We will see.
Speaking of the college game, there are a few unexpected names still dancing at this year's men's Final Four in Phoenix. Both Gonzaga and South Carolina have made it for the first time in school history, while Oregon is making their first appearance since 1939. North Carolina is a lone blue blood program still in it. But John, is this good for college basketball that these teams are in the Final Four?
I think it's good for these. It's definitely good for these teams, that's for sure. I mean, you talk about Gonzaga and South Carolina making it for the first time in school history. It's great for their fan bases to lift up the programs like that, get everybody hyped. but I'm not sure it's great for college basketball as a whole. When you talk about the neutral fan, the general fan, how excited are you going to get about watching South Carolina and Gonzaga play a basketball game against each other when it could have been Duke versus Arizona, something like that? So I think there's something missing for these fans at this Final Four.
Yeah, but why do people watch March Madness? Because it's madness. They want to see the madness. They want to see the upsets. They want to see the underdogs, have a story and make a name for themselves. I think people really watch to see those upsets, and that's the reason why people make brackets too. They want to see how close they can get to the truth, basically, and it's hard to do so. And I think that's the reason why people watch, because they want to see those upsets.
Yeah, everybody does love a good Cinderella story, but
Sure.
We'll wait to see how things pan out with the ratings. That's going to do it here for us on Point Counterpoint tonight. For Addy Martucci, I'm John Orsenego. Thanks so much for joining us. You can catch us here every Tuesday night on QNN Sports.